Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pitch Perfect Families, brought to you by Peak Music Studios. I'm Jeff Moore, your host. Today, we're going to talk about a very important decision on your part, and that is selecting the right school for your child. You want to put some thought into this, and there are some very basic things that you need to know to get the best possibility for a great musical education for your child. So let's go over this. Some things that you want to do. Specialized and individualized. You remember those two things and you're going to be way ahead of the game. Number one, the school that you select will specialize in the instrument that your child plays. If it's just a music store and they sell every instrument under the sun and they teach every instrument under the sun, they are likely not specialized. Ask, does the instructor for this program specialize in teaching this instrument? And ask, how many instruments are they specialized in? And if they say all of them, find someplace else. Number two, do they have individualized programs? So there are two types of programs. There are group instruction, which are important to give children a well-rounded education, teaching them to interact with other people, teaching them performance skills, and it's really a positive, good environment done in the right way. If they teach group lessons, ask if you can observe a group lesson. If they do not let you do that, ask why. Because they should really be open at certain times. And I'm not saying that most of the sessions aren't closed so that the musicians can focus on the process of learning and not be performing for an audience. But there should be times, especially if you're interested in your child attending, that you can come and observe a live class so you can see what it's like and your child can see what it's like. Individual lessons, they should have those available. Beware of 30-minute lessons. 30-minute lessons, by the time your child gets there, tunes up their instrument, talks to the instructor about what they did last time, and gets through the chit-chat, they've got about 5 or 10 minutes left for a lesson. These are not usually productive, so we recommend 50-minute or hour-long sessions. They tend to be productive, and they give your child the opportunity to practice everything that they need in the studio before they go home. And that's another question that you want to ask, because you don't want the instructor to go through a bunch of material and then leave you or your child to figure out what they're supposed to be doing when they get home. Do they give you a practice plan? Now, that can come from a group class where the class is practicing this material, or an individualized lesson plan that gives your child explicit instructions on what they need to do. This is important, and a lot of schools miss this. So ask. They will tell you everything is individualized, but they will count on your child to take notes and figure out what happens. What should they practice when they go home, and how long should they practice? And remember, if they're brand new, 10 to 15 minutes, and developing a practice habit is more important than, well, they need to practice an hour a day. It is repetitive over time, daily practice, small chunks that are going to engage your child. All right, feedback. You want somebody that is paying attention to how your child is progressing. This is important in schools that have a lot of instructors, and if they change the instructor every week, they're not tracking what is happening with your child. Again, you want somebody that's paying attention to their needs and to the family as a whole's needs, rather than you being in charge of that. That can create a lot of stress for you and your child trying to figure out what they're doing. So if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing in the class, You're going to go home and there are going to be likely either skipped practice because your child won't know what to do, or it could lead to contention because you're telling your child it's time to practice and your child says, well, I don't know what to do. Or they just get on YouTube and surf around. We find that a lot of students who don't know what to do will end up doing that. So you need to give them explicit instruction. So make sure that the school you're going to has been in business for a while. And if not, if they're brand new, ask them what their experience is. Do they specialize in teaching? Do they specialize in the instrument that your child is interested in playing? Do they offer individualized instruction? Do they offer individualized practice regimens? And that includes either if it's a class practice regimen or if it's individualized because they're individual lessons. You also want to look for the flexibility because some parents would like their child the opportunity to work in a group environment and then have an individualized lesson on occasion to help build on topics that they are interested in, or if there's changing circumstance. You want flexibility and you don't want to have to switch schools midstream and try and get used to another instructor just when your child is getting started and getting proficient in an instrument. So look for options and flexibility. You notice the last thing that I said is cost, because if you're looking for the cheapest option, you're likely going to get what you pay for. And I'm not saying you need to spend millions of dollars to get your child a good education and fly them out of state or fly an instructor in. It is, though, that instructors who are very good at what they do tend to charge more money because they are effective. And over time, this saves you money because your child actually ends up playing their instrument rather than they go into it, they find that it's boring or not appropriate, and you're 6 months or a year down the road, and that investment is gone. So the one thing that you can gauge success on is how long they are going to engage in the program and if they're going to actually end up playing the instrument. So this is something that you don't want dumped in your lap, that you need to figure it out. Your child needs to figure it out. You need an experienced partner who knows exactly how to deliver materials to your child in the instrument that they would like. So remember that individualized, specialized, flexible options for you, and that you don't have to guess what they're supposed to do. All right. So good luck in finding a school. There are some good schools out there. Just make sure you look for the right one that has the right options so you don't have to switch midstream. I'm Jeff Moore with Peak Music, and I will see you next time.